Hey guys, it's fantastic as always to bring you somebody that I've been working with and share their success story. And today it's a great privilege of mine to bring you a lady who I've had some real fun in helping her achieve her goals. Her name is Lorraine, and Lorraine, I just want to welcome you, and it's super exciting to be speaking with you today. So welcome.
Thank you, Aalpa. I'm super excited to be here. I appreciate the opportunity to chat with you about everything I've gone through.
And I remember, Lorraine, when you first came on board into our Thinking Results mentorship, um, you weren't in a very good place, and I'm sure you won't mind me saying that. And I'll let you share your story in a short while. I believe it was in April 2022 is when you first started with me. So share a little bit about where you were when you first started.
Yeah, a little. So I was going through a lot in my work life, my personal life. I've been in finances for over 25 years, and I was working under extremely toxic work conditions with the staff. Um, at the same time, my mom had been diagnosed with a rare cancer, so I became her full time caregiver.
Yeah.
I had also just started my own business, and it was something that I knew that I wanted to get into from a child, and I was blessed with that opportunity. But because mentally and emotionally I was so unstable, I was unable to throw myself into my business. So it just kind of, lagged for some time. So that's where I was sitting before I got started with you.
And yeah, and it wasn't a good phase. You were going through a lot, and I could see that when we first had our initial conversation back in April 2022. And of course, I believe you came on a masterclass that I did at the time. You were invited by a mutual person that we both knew.
Yeah.
You came on board, you attended the masterclass, and then we had a call afterwards, and we spoke, and you realized that this was something that you did want to do. So, what kind of goals were you kind of setting before you got involved with our mentorship? So, did you have any goals? Because most people don't even have any goals. So, did you have any goals for yourself?
I did have a goal, but it was achievable goals, like, that I had already been planning for. I wanted to purchase a home,
Yeah.
but at the time when I found out that my mom was sick, I was toggling back and forth with where do I do this at? I live in Florida, she lives in New York, but it was a goal that I had been planning for some time.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And and then when we took on the mentorship, you decided to come on board and you decided to do this. Of course, the very first thing that we teach you is how to set what we call C-type goals, so goals that you've never really ever achieved before, but something that you really want. And we get you to think much bigger than what you are used to thinking. How did you find that? And then what was the goal that you then set yourself?
So um at first it was I don't know what maybe unreal. I wasn't sure because of the type of personality that I have. I have to be able to see the steps that I need to take to get there. So it was a bit of a struggle for me to do
Yeah.
that. And then I just through the process, I just started to just let my dream, kind of take over and not um be step based. So at first, I set a goal to just build this huge family home in New York so I could stay with my mom and have the rest of the family around and still have a home built in Florida for me and my husband. That is still a C type goal of mine. But through the process, it's like learning yourself through this
Yeah.
process, and it's like peeling back an onion. every time you go into a chapter or go into the same chapter, you'll see something else, and that you can apply to yourself and learn.
Mm.
So I've since then put my forefront C type goal to retire by the end of this year, because I learned that by putting myself first
Yeah.
and focusing on what I really, really want to achieve, what was really important to me, will lead me to my other C type goals, which would reach out to the rest of the people around me. So
Yeah, yeah, and I think you've made a really important point there, because this whole program that we teach is not a program. Although for people to understand what we're talking about, it's not just a regular coaching program. It is a way of life. We're teaching you a way of life. It's a lifestyle change that you're going through, and to think about you and put yourself first. Because as women, generally we don't put ourselves first, do we? Our dreams are always on the back burner, kind of thing, and they shouldn't be, and I'm so against that. So any woman client that I work with, I always tell them that, listen, you come first, and that's not being selfish, that's really self-nurturing. You've got to take care of you first and put your wishes on the forefront, and then you can help everybody else, then you can do things for other people, of course you can. So it was good that you made that distinction between putting yourself first, because all this time you weren't, right? You were doing
right.
things for everybody else, right? And so how did it feel now that you're doing something for you?
It feels great. I would say I still have to talk myself down when it comes to putting myself first. So thanks to you, right? Not just the lessons. If I didn't have you, then to kind of help me rationalize, that I'm not being selfish. I wouldn't have, I guess, this feeling of um excitement
Yeah,
of what I'm doing, what I'm currently doing, and where it's leading me to now. Other, versus before, I was very doubtful and stressed. I knew that in my mind, this is something that I had to achieve for purposes of the family,
yeah.
instead of this is like a fun process for me to
Mhm.
go through, because I know that I am getting where I need to be.
Yeah, yeah. And I'm so proud of you that you stayed through it, you stuck with it. You kind of fell behind because obviously, you're going back and forth from Florida, which is where you live, to New York, to where your mom is. You had to do all those trips. You've got a job that you're doing as well as this business that you're um, getting off the ground, and I believe it is off the ground very much so now. Um,
Yes.
so, how else has this mentorship helped you with yourself, really, and the confidence levels, and just seeing yourself in a different light? How has it helped you?
Tremendously. So I must say, before the mentorship, I thought I had it altogether. I knew who I was. I was proud of who I was. Um, but like I said, things started to happen all at one time, and life just breaks you down without you even
Yeah.
seeing that. Um, so the mentorship was very, very, how do you say, I'm lost for words. It was just so important, especially at that time. I thank God every day for putting you in my life at the right
Oh,
time. For a long time, I was saying, I think I got into this at the wrong time. I can't focus. I can't concentrate.
yeah.
And you really stayed with me, and every time we spoke, it was like a new awakening. It was like, I know I can do this now. And it just showed me my strengths and my weaknesses, and helped me identify like my path, and it taught me how to get back in line and how to get back focused, right? And just to be able to identify why I'm doing these things. um
You,
And
you you've blossomed. You really have. You've blossomed. As you see, I don't know if anybody has seen a rose opening up. That's how I've seen you. I've seen you open up. You know, when you
thank
first
you.
came, you were like a closed rose, and then you
Yes.
slowly you started to open, and here you are. You're just blooming, and I love it. I love seeing this transformation, and this is the best bit. I love speaking to people after they've taken the mentorship to see exactly what they've achieved. So, what have you achieved so far? You've mentioned quite a few things. Of course, there's a lot of inner stuff that you've achieved, which is the most important, because without that inner change, you can't see the tangible results on the outside. But what have you achieved so far then?
So for me, most important, I have changed,
Hmm.
uh, at like not changed, let's say transformed as a person, because I am a true introvert.
Yeah.
And my and even doing this right here would have been a huge challenge for me. I must say I was a little got a couple of butterflies, but I was like, I'm able. Before I couldn't do it. And with my business, I'm in the I'm blessing people with financial information, and in order to do that, I have to speak to people. And
Yeah.
I don't like to speak to people as an introvert face to face. I like to do it over the phone, and I'm not getting going on lives or any of that. And I do this every day now. If
Yeah.
I'm either sharing information face to face. I just came back from a trip. I talked to at least a dozen people and just chatted with people. So I've opened up, like you said, and I feel more confident, in what I'm doing. And with that, it's allowed me to grow my team,
Yeah.
and which will help me achieve my goals. But more than anything, it's allowing me to help people, which was my childhood dream. And I want to thank you for that as well, because I didn't even realize um, that I had put my childhood dream on the back burner, because it was so long. I was 12 years old when I said, you know what, I'm going to get rich and I'm just going to help the world. I'm going to help the people. I was 12 years old, but I was very passionate about that I wanted to travel the world, because I didn't want to see any more kids, in poverty, or mothers. And I was blessed with that opportunity right before I met you, and I lagged in it, and I
Mm.
knew that I was going to stay in it. But when I get a chance, and you gave me that burst of energy, and the tools to have the confidence to do this thing now. So I
Yeah.
really, really appreciate it.
And you're traveling. You're traveling a lot now. You've just come back from
Yeah.
Vegas. You're telling me you're
Yeah.
going to Atlanta, and then you're going back to New York, and then you're just globally flying all over America at the moment. I'm sure you'll be making a visit here to England very soon as well. So
Yeah, yeah. That's the plan. That's the plan. And talking to everyone along the way.
I love it. I love your growth, as I say. Um, um, what would you say to those people? Because you mentioned your business, so you're in network marketing, right?
Yes.
Um, and of course, you said yourself you had that opportunity, but you weren't able to grow your business to the level that you wanted. Because in network marketing, it is about growing your teams and building your teams, and you're now doing that. And it seems to be happening just like that for you now, because you're in the right vibration and that you're in the right energy, and you've used the tools, the material that we teach you to level up on that. What
Mhm.
would you say to those people who are network marketers, or in MLMs and other businesses like that, where they feel that they are struggling, they're unable to build those teams? What would you say to those people? What's your piece of advice for them?
Find out on my page. You have to get yourself into self development.
Yeah.
It's so. When I first started, I thought this program was just going to be about, a little about learning about uh, interacting with other people. I had no idea the life changes that it's made for me. So I would tell these people that no matter what you're going through in life, whether it is professional, personal, it could be at home, marital, self development, TIR, is applicable to everything. And it gives you information that you will carry with you for life. And not only that, you get to keep the tools that they provide to go back to, because we're all humans and we're going to slip, and we're going to things are going to take a turn, and we're going to need that to fall back on, and you definitely have it. So I would say for sure, get with a program like TRR, and get in touch with Aalpa. You can find me on Facebook at Lorraine Pride Brave, and I can send you right into the right direction, because you definitely will be blessed and have your life turned around with this for sure.
Oh, that's so kind. I love how you said that. I was going to say, would you recommend it and why? But you've answered that question. What's
I'm
your favorite?
sorry.
No, that's okay. That's fine. What's your favorite lesson from Thinking into Results?
Um, that's really hard. I that's really hard. I really like all of them. Actually going back and doing them all now again. I want to say the lesson where it spoke about depression. Um,
So lesson
about
7 is the terror barrier.
Yeah, lesson 7. It was there. Lesson 7 was really spot on for me, because like I said, I've been going through, for the past year and a half, 2 years, and I knew that I was touching on depression. I was too proud to admit that.
Mhm.
But I was at a point that I was really breaking down, and I said, this is what's happening. And just reading that chapter and talking with you and understanding. So, reading it I had to do, but after speaking with you, like, you can't just read it. You definitely have to get with you and go through it. It
Mhm.
really helped me understand and break down what it was, right? It's the dis-ease. I love the way Bob says that it's a dis-ease. It's not not just as a disease.
Yeah.
Because before that, I read about depression, but it didn't bring me any comfort to make me feel any better, and that I could come away from it and go around it. Even talking to doctors, they just wanted to give me medication. And I am not one for medication. If I have to take something, I want something that's going to be, holistic. And but the lesson, it was like, that's it. Like, I know, right? I
Yeah.
can do better than this. And hand to God, I haven't had those vibes since that lesson. Like,
Good.
so serious. You didn't make me cry.
The people who are watching this, they don't know where you were when you first came. Like, again, I'm sure you won't mind me saying this, but the mental state that you were in, because you were going through a lot.
Yes.
Um, but to see you now and to come out of that, and again, you mentioned something, and I'm not surprised to hear it, if I'm to be honest. I've had a lot of clients that I've helped who have suffered from depression and anxiety. And they don't understand how it happens, why it happens. And, of course, they go to doctors, and the doctor's job is to prescribe you antidepressants. But that's not the cure. That's just like a prescription for the effects, right? But they don't deal with the cause of it. And this is where the law of cause and
Right.
effect is in play. And this whole module actually talks to you and teaches you about depression. I've had doctors who have been my clients, and they didn't understand the real cause of why depression happens. And when they went through
Mm.
this, they understood it. I remember there was a surgeon who attended one of Bob Proctor's seminars, and he said to Bob, what you taught me in 5 days, I haven't been taught that in 25 years of being a brain
Wow.
surgeon. Yeah.
Wow.
So this just goes to show that it's not about the education. It's not about any of that. It's about really understanding who you are and the power of you and why things happen to you and then how you deal with that. So thank you for bringing that up. And I'm so happy to hear that you've not had those depression vibes
No,
for a
thank
long time now.
goodness.
Yeah.
Yes.
And again, something else that you mentioned as well that's worth mentioning is just because you've been through this process over the last 6 months to 12 months doesn't mean you know it all. You've got to go back. You've got to study. Bob's always said, study you. Study you. And the more you know about you, that's when you can actually elevate to your next level. So your confidence has gone to another level, definitely, woman. Seeing you and sitting you here and shining so bright, it's just amazing. My heart fills up. It really does to see you this way. And I just wish
Thank
you
you.
all the love and all the best wishes for your next venture. And I know you're crushing it and smashing it in your network marketing business. So just wishing you all the more success for that. Any final words from you for those people who may be watching and thinking that they're kind of on the fence about it? Maybe they've spoken to me before. Maybe they've thought about doing this. Maybe they've heard about thinking results before, but they were a bit skeptic. Or maybe they have gone through the process, but they haven't achieved the results that they wanted. What would you say to those people?
I would say there's nothing more important than to get started and to work through the program and utilize the tools and utilize Aalpa um, to, I'm going to say, navigate your life. Don't let your outside world navigate you, because you'll never move forward if you have to tap in to the source, which is Aalpa. You have to tap into the lessons, and you have to learn to tap into yourself. It's important. The sooner the better, because you'll find yourself where you're at right now. When you look back next year, you'll find yourself in the same place. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm telling you, where I came from and where I am today, and this, for me, it was a long process, but I feel like it was a short period of time, because this is something that I want to continue um, my life's work with. This is something you need to start immediately in
Yeah.
order to turn things around for yourself.
And one final word, and I think this is super important, is accountability. What's your take on accountability, and do you think you achieved the accountability?
Yeah, so accountability. Had some help with that from you. So everyone, so again, I always proud of myself, because I've always been take charge. Um, I was an introvert, but I've always had spearheaded everything. Everyone relies on me for everything and everywhere. But I didn't realize that without you, I would not have taken the steps to take care of me and to put myself first, meaning I would not have done the program, read the tools that was given to me, if you were not my accountability partner. um, which pushed me to take accountability for myself.
Yeah.
So it made me every day say, when I strayed and started doing stuff for other people that wasn't as important as taking care of me, I had to stop, and I said, I talked about this with Aalpa. Let me get this done. Let me bring this in, and doing this became a routine of mine. So yes, having accountability is very important, especially um, having you to make sure that we stay that road.
Yeah. And why do you think having a mentor is important? Because from what I understand, I don't think you've ever had a mentor. Is that right? You never invested in a mentor before?
No, so I, again, before you in this program, I thought I had it all together. And I did not, I'm going to say this out loud, believe in mentors. I was like, why do you need somebody to hold your hand? You're an adult. You shouldn't, I don't understand that. Um, I just thought it was weird. So when I started your program, I was in disbelief of doing that. And for whatever reason, again, I thank God every day for bringing the people and the programs into my life at the time that it did, because I didn't hesitate. I
No,
didn't,
you
it
didn't.
wasn't a thought. It was like, okay, I'm going to get on, let's do this. And as soon as, it was time to get started, I was like, let's go. So it was right for me, even though prior, I didn't believe in having a mentor. So if people are like myself and in charge, we all need someone with us to work with us, because even if you think there's someone outside looking in and able to expand on your knowledge. Let's say that, because I don't, like me, I was okay. I don't want anybody to tell me something that I know about myself already.
Yeah.
And there's so much to us as people, layers that we don't know. We're always going to be able to constantly learn, and you want to have someone positive on your side to work with you, not tell you, but work with you to help you unfold and realize these things about yourself. It was only beneficial to me to do that. So I'm very thankful to God that He put you in my path and that He gave me the wisdom to say, "Let's go. You need this."
Oh, you came at the right time, and everything happens and unfolds for us when it's supposed to, when it's meant to happen, right? It's been a pleasure speaking with you, Lorraine. I am so happy for you. Super charged to see how much you have grown from all of this, not just on the outside tangible results, but more of the inside work that you've done and have got you to where you want to get to. And your level of confidence, as I say, it's just gone on to another level. So congratulations for everything that you've achieved through this. May you keep striving and going and striving for whatever else is the next big goal for you, to lead you up to that massive goal that I know you're working on, which is your vision. But thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you. Thanks for having me, Alpha. So nice to see you. I really appreciate you.